reprise of what we did in class today. And I'm going to show you also how you can create your own website on GitHub Pages. As a reminder, if you go to just pages.github.com, it explains how to do it step by step. So I'm going to go through these steps, all right? But that's where you would find the instructions. So, and you can get 2 points extra credit in your entire grade if you can do this by Thursday. So, here I have a web page, and it's just, if you look up here, it's just sitting on my desktop. It's called index.html, and I have it over here. I copied this out of Glitch. I made a few modifications, so you can see if I make changes there and save, then over here in the browser, because it's browsing that location locally, oh, see, makes the changes. All right, so I'm going to keep this where it is for now, and then I'm going to go to my GitHub. As you can see, I actually deleted my repository before, so I'm going to start over. So this is how I make a GitHub that then also turns into a GitHub page site. Click New, and then you want to, if we follow the instructions, you can see right here it says to name it your username.github.io. That's what the repository name is. So over here in GitHub, if you don't know what your username is, well, it shows you right there. So I'm going to do pachecod.github.io. You can see that's available. So just like that. Call it whatever you want. Make sure this is set to public, and then create repository. Okay, so now we have this here. I'm going to make sure that I have GitHub desktop open already. And then I'm signed into it. So forget what it's showing right here, but the important thing is that it's signed in. You can see your face and everything. I believe you can sign in under preferences, is what we found out. So I have that running. And then I'm also going to set up a folder that's blank. Okay, so I'll just make one right now, new folder. You can call it whatever you want, just make it all lowercase, no space. So I know that's in, I have this in Sites and then GitHub Pages. So I click Setup in Desktop, Open Desktop. Now it's saying, oh, I need to find pachecod.github.io. Ah, I forgot. This folder actually needs to be called that. It'll look a little weird because you'll have the dots in the folder name. It's funny, it's not finding it. There it is. Not quite what sure is going on there. So let's see here. Just gonna try again. I think it's because I did that add thing. Gonna try this again. Okay, so what I did there was started, I just went back and clicked setup and desktop again. I deleted that folder that I made before. So you have to kind of noodle with things sometimes. And so you can see here I have, that's the location of the thing on GitHub, and then here's the location where that folder is, and it found it. So now I say clone, okay? And so now it's GitHub is going to watch that folder. So if I go in here, there's nothing in there, right? But it set it up with a Git file. And I'm just going to go to my the piece of code that I was working on here, so that website, and I'm going to save as into that folder. Call it index.html. Right now, if I look back here, you'll see I think we have to do this first. Oh, I see what I did. I put that on my desktop. Now it sees it. Not sure why it was on my desktop. So where you put these folders matters. I'm gonna have to change that to somewhere else pretty soon here. Okay, so I've set it up and I'm committing all those changes. So I click commit to master, and then I do publish branch. Now it's uploading it to GitHub. All right. If we look over here and refresh, there's my index.html. Um, it doesn't happen right away, but if you give it I'd say 5 minutes maybe, if you then go to basically this as a link, so the name of that folder, yep, now I have that published. And here's where it gets even cooler is I can go back to this folder here. So now we know it's in here, all right? And I can put other stuff in there. So what I'm going to show you is that I had a site up there. If we look in here, I have it set up as old GitHub pages. In here, I have a much more complicated site with a nice design and things like that, right? Running off my local computer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of that stuff into that new folder location. So I'm going to delete that index file that I had before. Then I'm just going to take all these, copy and paste, right? A whole bunch of stuff. And this is what we're going to be doing when we work with high charts. Now when I go to GitHub, you can see that it sees all of these things, right? And I'm just going to call this restoring old GitHub site, putting the old stuff back. Remember, these are just comments for myself. Commit to master. So it's recording all those changes in the local Git file. And then when it's recorded all that, I click push to origin. So now it's uploading all that stuff, and there's a lot of stuff in there. So we're going to give it a little bit of time. There, you can see its percentage is increasing. If you think about this, here's some of the power of this too. I completely deleted that site, but I had it all stored in my computer. Now I completely restore it. Might not show up right away, but if we give it a few minutes, it will. And you can tell by if you go back over here to the GitHub repo, I'm going to refresh it. We can see that, okay, all of this has been restored 1 minute ago. And to mention it, it takes a few minutes for the changes to show up. Oh, looks like oh, that was not the right one. It's here. Could also try loading it in another browser. Sometimes things come from the cache. Nope, it's still showing the old. But eventually, probably in, as I mentioned, 5 minutes or so, it'll appear again. And I can kind of force it by, I'm just going to go back over here to that folder, and I'm just going to make a teeny tiny little change in the index file. Right, just that change. And here's, um, yes, here's what's nice is notice when I go to GitHub Desktop, it's only going to upload the things that changed. So it's not going to have to like keep pushing everything. So welcome message, edit, push to origin, right? This is going to be really fast because it's just one little file that's gotten updated. Let's see if our site, there we go. Um, and notice this is the one I pushed before. You don't see the hello and welcome. So that change will then update in a little bit too. And that's how you create all of this cool stuff with GitHub pages. Um, if you look through here, I have so many little things that I'm working on. So here's a data viz example. That's what we'll be working on Thursday. Um, here's it's a 360 photo gallery. It actually works in virtual reality. That's also an open source code base. When we get to working with VR, we're going to use that. And this stuff is all just running up on my GitHub Pages account. Height charts I mentioned. Here's the Mars rover, Perseverance rover model. That's just a file sitting in my GitHub. So I hope that makes more sense. So you have uh, before class on Thursday to meet this challenge. You get 2 extra points on your entire grade, no matter what you get with everything else, and I'll apply those after Thursday up in the Blackboard. And I'll see you guys Thursday.